Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, a suspect involved in the shooting near the Torchlight Parade over the weekend is expected to appear in court now any moment. Spokane police told KREM 2 News that Charles Michael and another person were involved in an argument with a convenience store owner, and then an employee shot one person.
That shooting was not related to the Lilac Parade despite its proximity to the route. After the shooting, community reaction online has overwhelmingly been about downtown safety.
So in our effort to bring you more context to this story, KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley spoke with city leaders about how this shooting is impacting the perception of the downtown core. Amanda?
Well, the shooting this weekend happened just steps from the parade route over the weekend. Spokane police say the two were not related, but that shooting still has some people on edge. Now, we did take a look at the most latest Spokane Police Department crime data, and it actually shows that things are improving downtown. It's that time of year when Spokane draws crowds downtown for major events, including the annual Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. But all that fun and excitement comes to a halt when your safety may be at stake. Over the weekend, Spokane police responded to a shooting at a downtown Spokane store near the parade route.
We were thankful that the Spokane Police Department reacted quickly.
President and CEO Emily Cameron says public safety is a big priority for the Downtown Spokane Partnership.
Well, when there are isolated incidents like what happened this weekend in downtown, it can absolutely have a ripple effect and people can question their safety.
There's a perception that downtown Spokane is not safe. The recent shooting near the parade didn't help calm those fears, but data from Spokane Police shows things are improving downtown. SPD's latest data shows violent crime in the downtown precinct decreased by nearly 7% over the past year, and property crime went down by more than 14%. SPD attributes some of that improvement to the department's reorganization last year. This put more officers on the street and increased their presence downtown. The Downtown Spokane Partnership also contributes to the safety of downtown Spokane.
We have our uniformed ambassadors who are on the streets of downtown 7 days a week. They are there to be eyes and ears and to help protect people who are in downtown.
I think that we should never be satisfied with our response on public safety.
City Council member Paul Dillon chairs the city's Public Safety Committee. He applauds SPD's immediate response to the shooting over the weekend. But Dillon also believes public safety can always be improved.
I am committed to looking at an ordinance around public events, bringing weapons that can cause harm to people. I think that that's something that oftentimes in cities we overlook.
Now, we also received a statement today from the interim city administrator that says the city has always prepared or prioritized emergency response for major events, adding that the response plans were actually successfully executed over the weekend during that shooting. We'll have that full statement posted on KREM.com. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you. A small plane made an emergency landing on the north-south freeway on Saturday.
That plane made the emergency landing after it ran out of gas. The incident fully blocked all lanes of traffic for hours. WSP says no one was hurt.
Troopers say the plane, though, ran out of fuel in one tank, but then failed to switch to the second tank. A trainee was actually piloting the aircraft at the time. Then there was enough fuel for them to take off again from the highway so they could safely return to base.
A search is underway tonight for a missing pilot. That man took off from Arlington, headed across the Cascades to Ephrata, but never arrived.
The 69-year-old pilot has been missing now for almost 24 hours. His last known location just west of Snoqualmie Pass, where search crews have been focusing all day. Using helicopters and small planes, those crews are scouring Humpback Mountain. It's an area of the Cascades. It's about 65 rescue workers who are searching by foot as well.
The pilot, 69-year-old Jerry Reedinger of Bellevue, took off from the Arlington airport yesterday at around 4:30, bound for Ephrata, where his wife was waiting for him. That flight should have taken a little over an hour. When Reedinger did not show up, his wife called for help. The pilot is said to be very experienced. In fact, he was flying a plane that was designed for acrobatics or for stunts.
This is an advanced aircraft, so definitely not a novice pilot at the controls here. So it takes some skills to be able to operate an aircraft like this and do the aerobatics in it.
We've also learned the pilot did have a parachute with him, but at this point there is no indication that it was deployed.
All right, taking a break from the headlines to talk weather. Rain has been popping up in parts of the inland Northwest with more expected throughout the week.
Let's get to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo.
Well, when it comes to the next couple of days, I think we get a little more of it. Today, pretty beautiful. Look off in the distance, you can see some of those clouds towering just a bit. All of today's storms are what are called diurnal, or they're fueled by the daytime heating. So as the sun goes down tonight, expect everything to calm. That sun doing a decent job of heating us up, 66. We knew we'd climb into the mid or upper 60s today based on the sunshine and the presence of those storms. That combination keeps us from warming up too much, and now we have a little bit of activity making its way a little closer to Spokane. We might record a little bit of moisture out of that cell just off to the east of the Y. Deer Park, you're watching near storms roll out. Those are going to move down toward the Y. Sandpoint's still in it. That's going to last just a little bit longer. Expect those to work their way a little bit farther south. The ones out of St. Mary's now working their way out. Down across the Palouse, a couple of scattered showers, and that seems to be about it. As I mentioned earlier, once the sun goes down tonight, we lose everything fueling these storms, so they wind up moving out. Tomorrow morning, rain returns to the west side. That rain creeps up and over the mountains. I think what winds up happening is it starts in the evening or much later in the day, but we get a little something earlier that says, hey, there's something on the way. So tomorrow, expect moisture later, kind of evening. Because of that, we're still up in the 60s. Wednesday, rainy and cooler, a high in the 50s. Thursday, it's lingering showers, and those lingering showers stick around through the first half of the weekend. But coming up, we're going to talk a sunny, warmer end to the weekend.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Tonight, the Spokane City Council is set to discuss a building moratorium proposal in Latah Valley.
A big factor behind the proposal are upcoming wildfire season. KREM 2's Cody Proctor joining us now in the studio with more on the reasons behind the discussion. Cody?
Well, Mark and Whitney, this area of Spokane is one seeing a lot of interest for development, but this proposal would put a pause on new projects. According to tonight's City Council agenda, the proposed ordinance would establish a one-year moratorium in this area on subdivision applications for unplatted property in the Latah, Hangman, and Grandview Thorpe neighborhoods. City documents say the reasons behind the proposal are because of the significant development seen in this area and a lack of fire protection resources. Now, this area also has a temporary Spokane fire department station, and there's not many roads in and out of the developments. If the moratorium passes, the city would not accept, process, review, and or approve any new applications for the moratorium zone. Last week, a neighbor living in the Latah Valley told me she supports the proposal.
In that time, develop a plan, get your funding, define your plan, get things started. 6 years down the road, we might get a fire department. Is not good enough.
Now, this isn't the first time this area has been under a moratorium. The most recent one actually started back in the fall of 2022. It lasted for 6 months. Councilmember Paul Dillon's one of the sponsors of the proposed ordinance. He also added a new amendment to the proposal to set a public hearing for July 15th. Now, tonight's City Council meeting starts at 6 o'clock. We'll be bringing you more coverage later this evening. In the studio, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Cody, thank you. Now looking ahead, the Idaho primary election is tomorrow.
This primary includes races focused on the state and county level. Whichever candidate receives the most vote this round moves on to the general election coming up in November. Polls will remain open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m.
If you'd like a full breakdown of all of the races that you'll see on your ballot, you can head to our website right now. Just go to KREM.com.